All these celebrities that we hear about, y'all. I know y'all, if everybody's heard about Diddy, people are talking about Jay. Now Kanye's wife is talking about him. And I feel like a lot of people, normal people, feel surprised when they hear something a little off about a celebrity. Like, oh, they smell bad. They don't like to take baths. Oh, they are into this kink or they're into that kink or they abuse somebody or they use drugs. Let me tell you, celebrities are just like normal people with influence and money. That's it. Doing hair in Dallas, I've been around a lot of celebrity hairstylists, celebrity makeup artists. I'm a semi celebrity hairstylist myself, and I've had friends that work in the celebrity world that were friends with many, many celebrities. I know many people that rubbed elbows with, and I'm not gonna say they're my friends' names, but I know people that have rubbed elbows with Tyson, the supermodel, T.I., Tiny, K. Michelle, you name it. The list just goes on, and Keisha Cole, just name it. I know people that are around them very often. And I don't know what it is about me, but I feel like people feel comfortable talking to me. And a lot of people that have witnessed that lifestyle, when they meet me or we become cool, eventually they start asking me my opinion about things and, wanting to talk to me about things they don't talk to many people about. So I'm going to tell y'all a story time about what happened with the guy that I used to work for in Dallas when I first started doing hair. So the first shop I worked at in Dallas was in the hood. And this shop, I'm not going to give too much detail, but it was in the hood. First shop I worked at, and it was like in a bazaar. Okay, it was Big T Plaza. I'll just say that. Big T Plaza, Dallas, Texas, in the hood. And that's all I can give on that. I don't want to give names. But I will tell you, when I worked at that shop, the owner of that shop used to be in the singing group, High Five. I don't know if y'all know that group. I like the way you kiss me when that group. So he wasn't an original member of the group. He was a replacement for one of the members in the group. And he replaced one of the members when he was about 15 or something like that years old. End up being in the group, going on tour with them, traveling with them. And after it was over, he had a large lump sum of money from doing all that work because his parents saved and invested his money. He took that money and opened up a barbershop, the one that I worked at. They bought horses, and he also owned a photography business, and he also owned a business where he would have ushering celebrities to come to Dallas, and he would be like their chaperone here in Dallas. So all types of celebrities, you name it. When they come to Dallas, he would chaperone them. He would take them around to different clubs. He would hang out with them. He would introduce them to different people. Ashanti, T.I., Tiny, Keisha Cole, Bishop Magic, Don Juan, anybody, Boosie, everybody. He would usher these people in and take them around, show them around, introduce them to people, take them to restaurants. So I worked for this guy in the hood, and a young guy. He was only like 27 years old. And he was cool, cute. I didn't know if he was straight or if he was bi or whatever, but he had a cool swag and very cute and handsome, and everybody, all the girls thought he was cute, and he had a really beautiful girlfriend, but I noticed that he hung out with, gay guys too, so I guess he was bi. And that's what he was living, as a bisexual man, very successful, and people respected him. So all these music artists in the city would come to him and want to record with him, want him to manage and produce their albums because he's tied into all these people. Of course they would. So he had a young man that was interested in him producing music with him, my boss producing music for him, or, my boss just being in the studio with him, co-signing him so that he could get in to where he needed to be into. The young man was a straight young man. He wasn't gay, but he was so hungry to make it in his music. You know, he didn't care. He just wanted to work with my boss. Let's call my boss Red. So my boss, we're gonna call him Red. The young man approached my boss like, "Hey, I want you to work with my music. You know, I'm good." My boss listened to it, said, "Okay, I got you. I'm gonna work on your music." So the young man was waiting on my boss to contact him. My boss is too busy. He's busy. He's got all these businesses. I told you. But one day my boss says, "Hey, you know, I can meet you, but you got to meet me at the gay club." Because my boss had a photography company at the gay club in Uptown. So the dude was like, "Dang, I can't meet you at no gay club, you know." He said, "That's the only time I got, man. You want to meet me, you got to meet me up here." So the young man ends up meeting him at the gay club. Now, what this young man doesn't understand is that some of these clubs, when you're cool with the bartender, like Red, my boss was cool with the bartender, you can tell the bartender to put whatever you want in somebody's drink. And that's exactly what happened. So he ordered the young man a drink. The young man took the drink, immediately went out of it. My boss, Red, ends up taking the young man home to his house and raping him several times. He raped the young man so bad that the next day, when the man came to, you know, he was really sore and really hurt. He was so drugged and out of it, you know, of course, the guy let him leave, you know. He already got what he wanted from him. The young man gets in his car, and he's so sick from whatever was given to him that he drives himself to the hospital. When he finally makes it to the hospital, he has to get IVs. He has to get all this because he's severely dehydrated. And he got all these medical services done because of what had happened to him. Well, I was unaware of all this happening until I heard about it at work. So I'm at work, and one day I'm just in there doing hair, and somebody runs over to me, and they're like, Carla, did you see them dudes? Did you see them dudes that came up to the shop? I said, no. He said it was 6 dudes that came up here with guns, like a whole posse of dudes that came up here with guns looking for Red, looking for my boss that had did that to the young man. And I said, really? They said, yeah, it's a group of dudes. They walked up with guns. They said, oh, fuck. They said, why the fuck did he do that? You know, like he messing up my money, their money, all that. I said, damn. So, you know, after I took a break from doing hair, I went to the person, which is actually his brother, who told me that, you know, they looking for his brother. Went out and started talking to his brother. He said, damn it. He done started a war over some bullshit he did out in the street. So I was like, damn, what you gonna do? He was like, I don't know, man. He done fucked up everything. So like the next day or so, I was also friends with a salon owner in the same bazaar. It was a bazaar, like a flea market, but an indoor one. So I was friends with another woman who owned a salon in the same building, and she came up to me one day and was like, do you know what happened to that dude that Red drugged? And I said, no, I don't know what happened. Okay, y'all, stay tuned for part 2. This is part 1.